everyone. Welcome back to Ask Amy. Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been forever since I've been here with you guys. I mean, it was a decade ago, a couple weeks ago at least, and it just feels like so long. I'm on a new computer. Everything's changed. So, it's good to be back. I hope you had a great holiday and you're having a great new year so far. I have a question today from Caroline, and she sent it to me on Instagram, so I'm just going to read it off my phone here. She says, "Hi, Dr. Amy. I love your work and books. I have a question. Where does the idea of trauma and memories being stored in the body come in with your work? I'm thinking here of the book, The Body Keeps the Score. It's an excellent book, but I'm struggling to tie it in with your work. If we realize our thoughts are not ours, that's one thing. But what if those thoughts have created bodily manifestations and tension? Look forward to hearing from you." So it's a great question, Caroline, and I was glad you sent it, and I was glad you agreed to let me speak to it here, because it's definitely one that I've gotten many times before. I think it makes sense. On some level, it seems inconsistent. If I'm talking about, and not just me, but those of us who speak to this new paradigm are talking about thought being this energy that moves through us, right? It's not us, it's not ours. We feel it, it comes to life within us, it's our experience, but it's in motion. It's always moving, it's always flowing. That feels or sounds like it might be inconsistent with the fact that it can be, or with this idea, I should say, that it can be stored in the body, right? That we feel it in our muscles or other places in our body, and that it's there in some way. And I don't see it as inconsistent at all. So here's how it looks. Thought moves through us. Like when you talk about trauma and you talk about memories, old memories, those are thought right now. They are energy. They're energy. Like trauma is, there's events that happen perhaps. But right now, what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, unless you're being traumatized in this moment, and actually, even if you are being traumatized in this moment, what we humans experience is the experience of that, which is made of thought, which is this thought energy moving through us. Memories, same thing. It's thought, current moment thought, right now, today, in this second thought, moving and flowing and traveling through us, right? Now, that's the truth of it, if you will. That's how it works. And as we all know, we humans don't like that sometimes. We don't like the feeling of it. We get scared by our thoughts. We don't like our bad memories. We believe that trauma lives on and we replay it. Again, present moment thinking, but we have memories and flashbacks and all of that. And so we, in very, very innocently, like we sometimes have this way of fearing and tensing around and pushing against and getting in the way of a little bit, getting in the way of this energy that wants to move through us. And when we do that enough, it can look and feel like something has been stored within us. So like we feel chronically tense or whatever, chronically whatever, right? We have these chronic issues, health issues, physical manifestations of all of that thinking. But I want you to see this part's very important. Like that's not just what that thinking does in and of itself. How thought and energy wants to move, in a sense, is it wants to move. It wants to move through us. We're constantly updating. Our mind is constantly refreshing. That's always available to us, but it's definitely not what we always experience. And that's okay. That's just because, understandably, again, we get caught up, we replay things, we become afraid of our experience. We hear theories about things getting blocked and all that. And so we experience that sometimes. So we do feel it as if we're holding on to it in a sense sometimes. But what is so important to see in this is either way, it's the same thing. So if you are chronically tense or have, something that feels like it's stored in your body, that is still thought. It's still, and by thought, I don't mean conscious thought. I don't mean words. I mean, it's this energy, this spiritual psychological energy that we're kind of like, with, we're fighting it, or we're thinking it's real, or we're trying to figure it out, or whatever. Now, tension or stuff stored in your body is wonderful. wonderful, because it's a signal showing you that you're holding on to some thought. And again, please don't hear the words too literally. Like, I don't mean you're doing something wrong because you're holding on to this. It's just like we've tensed, our body tenses around it. We feel scared. We don't feel safe in our experience. And so we feel the effects of that, right? We get feedback about that. Ooh, you're scared. You're thinking you are your experience. You're thinking you aren't safe. You don't seem safe. So we're going to make sure you know that. We're going to make sure this comes to your attention. Something's wrong here. That's what all that tension and chronic health issues and all of that are rooted in, right? It's just this beautiful alarm system trying to get our attention. And I would say what it's trying to alert us to is the fact that we have this psychological experience that's 100% safe, that isn't us or even about us. It's just experience moving through us that we think is us, that we think is a problem, that we are afraid of, that we're pushing against. And so all that friction just creates a feeling to wake us up to what's happening. So see if you can kind of see, again, like the wisdom and the perfection and all of this. So when people say we store this stuff in our body, it's not, there's not a thing called trauma. There's not a thing called a memory that gets lodged within a muscle or anything. It's a psychological experience that when we push it down and fight it and fear it, we feel the manifestation of that in our bodies. Thank God. Because us feeling tense and having health issues is just one more alarm system, one more reminder to say, hey, something's not right. You want to take a look. Like, you're not seeing the whole picture here. Does that make sense? I hope you can kind of see what I mean about that. It is so, I just love this idea that the only problem we ever have, like true problem we ever have in any given moment, is believing that we have a problem. So, and I don't even mean that on like a conscious level, but it's like we think, ooh, I have, fibromyalgia. Like, we do have the symptoms of that, but like, I have this thing. I had this trauma. I have these memories I shouldn't be having. I have these thoughts I shouldn't be having. When we are like that with this energy, we wake up to it. Like, we are woken up to, oh no, this is not you and it is not yours. We are 100% healthy, safe. All experience is safe. It just wants to move through. But when we innocently fear it and get in the way, it can feel like it's kind of lodged in there or stored in our bodies. And it's just manifesting there. And again, it's a beautiful cycle. It's wonderful because it wakes us up to, oh, wait, maybe there's something else I can see. It's not waking you up to you're damaged, you're flawed, there's something wrong. It's waking you up to, oh, wait, maybe I'm identifying with experience that I don't need to. Maybe there's a new level of freedom available for me. And this pain or this tension is knocking at the door saying, hey, there's better available to you. See what you can see about this. So I hope that's helpful. Totally consistent, really, when we look at it in the big picture. And excellent question, very common one. So thanks for sending it, Carolyn. And thanks, guys, for listening. And I will be back here next Monday. Send your questions to me. I have quite a few in the hopper, in the inbox. But I'm always wanting more about anything, about habits, about psychology, about this new paradigm, about coaching, although I do a separate thing around coaching. But send me your questions about anything. I love doing this, and I'm super excited to be back. So send them to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com. And have a great week, and I'll see you back next Monday. Bye, everyone.